And welcome back to Daytime. Doesn't that look just delicious? And you might be pleased to know that it's actually pretty good for you and your body at the same time as we welcome back Stephanie Claremont, registered dietitian. Talking earlier with Susan, and I found it intriguing, the process by which you go through the trigger foods for people to find out the one that is maybe the problem. And it could be more than one, right?
Everybody is so different, and so it's not like there's one approach and you can just, buy a diet online and follow it and you're going to be better. We really need to work through what your body's doing and what's a trigger for you.
Because I know the process by which they determine if you have an allergy, you'll hear about they prick you with little bits of things and find out where there's a rash or something, but I guess you can't really do that with foods, can you?
Not with food intolerance.
Okay.
So with an allergy, yeah, they would do that in your doctor's office or with an allergist or a specialist. But when it's a food intolerance, which is often related to irritable bowel syndrome or those types of digestive symptoms like the gas, the bloating, abdominal discomfort and pain, and some type of change in your bowel habits, then it can be a food intolerance. We can't test for that. And so there is some breath testing that you can do, which can...
Breath testing?
Yes, breath testing.
Okay.
And it will
Cross
monitor...
that off jobs I would want, but nonetheless.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can have an at-home kit and you breathe into a little contraption.
Right.
And you're testing for fructose malabsorption or lactose intolerance. So you can do some tests for that.
Well, I know, Stephanie, the Dr. Oz's of the world and the Oprahs have done sort of have said on their show to do the poop check and to check stuff like that, right? Which doesn't make for great television, but nonetheless, it is something that you should be aware of, right?
Yes. Oh, I talk about poop all day long, and
you
can feel very comfortable talking to me about that. That's absolutely fine. It's normal. It happens. But I see people that are having problems with that.
I hope you didn't bring that up when you were dating your husband, because that might have been a date killer right there.
I don't think I did.
Or you would have loved it.
Good.
You don't know. So, but this is what intrigues me. You're talking about irritable bowel syndrome, and then I know over the years, having done fundraisers for Crohn's and colitis, those are two other different balls of wax,
irritable
right?
bowel diseases. So you want to work with your doctor to rule that out, or celiac disease, if you actually have something else going on in your digestive tract before you just start cutting out foods. And so that's why you want to work with a registered dietitian that's an expert in digestion and this type of low FODMAP approach, so you can still eat delicious food while you're excluding some of the foods that might be bothering you.
Because it's a tough thing. Let's say you went to a Super Bowl party yesterday and today you're feeling like, ugh. You may have eaten 18 different things. It's really hard to narrow it down.
Yeah, and they're
So
weird,
that's why you
tricky little
go to a
things.
dietitian.
It's not just wheat or dairy, like those are common. There's other little things. So today I'm going to put together a healthy and low FODMAP meal that would be very easy on your digestive tract. And I'm already sauteing. Do you know what this is here? Can you smell that?
I can tell it's onion.
It's actually fennel. Hey, I tricked you.
It's fennel. You didn't really trick me. It's pretty easy to do it. It looks like onion to me.
So, and you know what? The thing with onion and garlic is that they are really difficult to digest. And so in a low FODMAP diet...
Garlic is? Everyone's always touting the benefits of eat garlic or pop the garlic pills.
These foods are healthier, like garlic and onion and apple and pear. They're healthy foods, but for digestion and for having a difficult time digesting foods, they are poorly absorbed. It just doesn't bother everyone the same. So I use fennel a lot because it adds that kind of oniony, it has that beautiful aromatic to a dish when I'm not using onion or garlic and making it a little more digestive, easy.
So what is it, Stephanie, that makes one body able to digest something versus another? Do we know it? Is it hereditary? Like, does your body develop? Can it be like an allergy that you get halfway through life? Could I go be able to drink milk till I'm 40 and then all of a sudden, when I turn 40, and then all of a sudden be intolerant? Like, how does this happen?
Yeah, if you have a parent with IBS, then you're more likely to have or get IBS.
Okay.
Now it is, it's difficult to know the actual causes, and there's no literature or research that's showing us this causes this. There is a mind-body reaction, so high stress life or going through difficult times. People with IBS actually will have more symptoms when they're going through a really tricky time. So a student going through university exams. It agitates
isn't that interesting?
The bowel. There are some really, really great books. There's one called When the Body Says No, if I'm correct, that actually talk about the science behind that mind-body connection. It's not just,
Stephanie, I was up at the market, and there's a little store there, and it sold Bowel Buddies. Have you ever seen those?
No. Oh, cookies? Are they cookies?
They're like cookies, but they're called Bowel Buddies.
Oh, yeah. I think, you know what, that's really interesting that you bring that up, because most people think, I need to eat more fiber. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not doing well down
Fiber's
here.
a trigger word.
I need more
Yeah,
fiber.
right.
And
Yeah.
it's not really all different kinds of fiber. Some of them are really going to trigger you, like that lovely whole wheat bread I had out before. That can be a trigger for people. So you want to get fiber, but soluble fiber is more easy to digest, and that's going to be in things like oats and some fruits and vegetables. So here I have some bell peppers and some kale and that fennel. These are all tummy friendly or
easily digestible
foods, and we're sauteing them up a little bit.
And digestion, am I right? It has to do with your body's ability, the acid in your stomach, to break something down? And is that, when we talk about what digestion really is it your body's ability to decompose and take something apart?
Your body's ability to break down
and
food
get the good stuff?
and pull the nutrients
Okay.
out. So when you have celiac, you actually have damage to your intestinal tract that you're not absorbing all those nutrients. And so you really need to get that screened and make sure that, you know, we're
doing
absorbing
the right things.
Yeah, we're doing the right thing with food first.
Fix damage you've done?
Yes, you can heal.
You can heal.
The gut can heal
okay.
from celiac disease, and from some of those other diseases you can.
Okay.
So then for grains, I'm putting a little bit of quinoa in here.
Put a lot for me, would you?
Okay.
And
then, so that's a gluten-free grain, the quinoa.
By the way, visually, that looks delicious.
I know, right?
It smells wonderful.
It's a rainbow.
And here's the thing. You're shaking off the preconception that everything that's good for you has to either not taste good or be yuck.
Well,
right?
and I'm going to add a protein, and most proteins are fine except for those beans. They're difficult to break down, and they can be fermented in the gut and cause symptoms. So I have a nice organic chicken that I sauteed up with a little bit of herbs and flavorings.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Also out here I have a tempeh. Do you know what tempeh is, Mark?
It's the thing that keeps the beat going. Oh, that's the tempo.
Tempeh is
I thought it was the tempo.
Tempeh is a soy product. So it's a really unprocessed soy product, and I have it crumbled up. I browned it. I added a whole bunch of delicious spices. So you can use any kind of protein you like in this recipe, and I'm going to have you...
Does soy absorb taste the same way tofu does? Is that
they don't have a flavor really,
okay, they don't.
so they absorb lots of flavors. There's lots of spices in there, and I'm going to have you grab
I was going to say
squash.
we just have just shy of 90 seconds. I'm
Let's
grabbing
grab
some
the
squash out of here.
Yes.
Do I have to wish that there'd be squash in here, or have you
Say a
already
little
put some in
prayer.
here? Okay, because I certainly didn't.
In this recipe, you're going to roast an acorn squash, cut it in half.
Teflon hands.
A little bit of...
Yes, go ahead.
Wow, you really can tolerate that heat. And so you're going to roast the squash for about half an hour.
Okay.
425 in your oven. Nice and beautiful roasted with caramelization out here.
Yes.
And then we are going to add our lovely stuffing to that squash.
Here we go. Let's put that in there with 60 seconds to go. Stephanie Claremont, wholefoodtherapy.ca is where you can find out more, and also look on Facebook as well. And I've decided you are my bell buddy.
Hey, can you throw a little bit of cheese on top?
I'll put a little bit of cheese on.
All right,
there,
and that Parmesan's actually very low lactose. So people that are lactose
Thank
intolerant
you, Stephanie.
can have a little
Thanks
bit.
for the knowledge and the delectable treats.
You're welcome.
In the oven that goes. Thanks for being here today.
You can check out more recipes on my website if you want.
That's a good plan. We'll do that later on. All right, stay with us. We'll be back in just a second.